What's up, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video here, but it's a bit different this time. Unfortunately, we don't have guns, because he's not feeling all too well, but don't worry, we got a stand-in for him. Ain't that right, Creeder?
Hell yeah. Yeah. It's a shame about guns, man. I told him not to go drinking butt naked, and trying to jump in the Gulf of Mexico, but he didn't want to listen to me.
Oh, when does guns ever listen to us, Creeder?
Exactly. Well, he's floating out there, so he should be back next week. Hopefully.
Hopefully, but don't worry, folks. We got someone to temporarily take his place for tonight, and it's my brother, but... Bro, why don't you introduce yourself?
Why, hello there. My name is Venom, and I'm going to be filling in Gun's place for today. It's a shame, man.
Yep. I was gonna say just so everybody knows, like today for the video, but Venom is gonna be a permanent member in Gun Nation United, so you're gonna be seeing him a lot more. It's not a guess; he's a permanent member. So.
Yep.
Yeah, who knows? Sometimes he might take over for one of us if the one of the others doesn't feel up to it. So you never know.
And he did have to go through initiation. He doesn't have any toes now, but I mean, he says it's worth it. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he can always walk on his heels,
Yep.
All right, but on to the video for tonight. This one's going to be an interesting one, folks, because we're going to go with character development, but it's not just one person. It's not just two people. We're doing 3 different characters. That's right. But you may be thinking, ooh, heroes. Nah. We're not focusing on the main protagonists of the stories. We're focusing on the antagonists. That's right, the main bad guy. The main one willing to fuck up the hero's day.
Yep.
These 3 lucky villains are Madara Uchiha, Blackbeard
from Naruto, and Blackbeard from One Piece, and the grand finale, my bro,
Aizen from Bleach.
And so before anybody jumps the gun, whoa, hold up. They ain't the main baddies of the show. Yes, but they're the most popular and they're the most everybody's favorite from the show. And when you have the big 3, which in case you guys don't know, the big 3 is Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach, they're pretty much the main protagonists. Or I'm sorry, the main antagonists. So.
Because no offense, Aizen was the main guy, mainly hinted, and he was the big evil villain behind everything in Bleach. So no offense to all the other villains like Mr. Vampire Lord, whoever else, and all that. We're just focusing on the shows, people, not any movies or stuff like that.
Well, no. I was gonna say even with the show, like technically Kaguya is the main baddie of Naruto, and One Piece it's still ongoing. Well, technically Naruto too, because then you get Boruto, and then you get the whole Atsuki clan, and so we're just gonna go with the most popular antagonist. Is what we're trying to say. Yeah. Plus, Madara is better than fucking Kagi anyway. Yeah. So we'll leave that for another video.
Well, for now, I feel like, in me and my bro Venom's honest opinion, let's get the least favorite out of the way. So, Creeder, why don't you go ahead and start us off with Blackbeard?
What are you talking about? Blackbeard is the best character ever. I mean, granted, he was the one. The reason behind Ace's death, because if he had him capture him, then what's his face would have never fisted him. But yeah, everybody hates Blackbeard. However, that's what makes him a good antagonist. That's what makes him the good villain. You can say whatever you want, but Blackbeard is a good villain, just like Danzo was a good villain. Everybody hated him. He was the least favorite, but he was the best antagonist. Anyway. Now that that's all out the way, a little bit of backstory. Marshall D. Teach, commonly referred to as Blackbeard, is the captain of the Blackbeard Pirates and one of the 4 emperors. He is also the only known person in the history to wield the power of 2 devil fruits. And just a little bit of bad story. He started off as pirate, as a member of the Whitebeard Pirates Second Division, until he murdered the Fourth Division commander for the Yami Yami no Mi, and and then ran away. Prior to the 2-year time skip, he briefly held a position among the seven warlords of the sea. After defeating and handing Ace over to the Marines before resigning upon returning from Impel Down with level 6 prisoners to straighten his crew. And then from that point, he got the power, and unfortunately, Whitebeard had to go, and he got Whitebeard's devil fruit, the Quake fruit, if I believe. Ever since the time skip has been kind of staying low. So we'll, there's a lot of theories out there as he might come up in Wano, but we're not there yet, so we don't know. In my opinion, he's definitely one of the main baddies of One Piece, and at some point, the Straw Hats are going to have to face the Blackbeard pirates. And so, in the meantime, we can just wait for the hype and the build-up, because it's going to be awesome. And we all know that Captain Usopp of the Straw Hat Pirates is going to prevail.
All right, well, creator, thank you for that wonderful character development and explanation of our first big baddie, Blackbeard. Venom, why don't you take it away with your description of Madara Uchiha?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Leo. I will definitely take part in this. Madara Uchiha was the legendary leader of the Uchiha clan. He founded the, please do not hate me if I mispronounce this, but the Hagakure, alongside his childhood friend and rival, Hashirama Senju, with the intention of beginning an era of peace. When the two couldn't agree on how to achieve that peace, they fought for control of the village, a conflict which ended in Madara's death. Madara, however, rewrote his death and went into hiding to work on his own plans. Unable to complete it in his natural life, he entrusted his knowledge and plans to Obito Uchiha. If no one has ever seen Naruto, basically, Obito put on this whole facade that he was Madara Uchiha. Then, when Kabuto used the reanimation style jutsu and brought Madara back better than he was in his glory days, everyone found out Obito isn't Madara. That guy that we're fighting right now is Madara. And years later, Madara would be revived, only to see his plans foiled, and finally realizing the error of his ways and making amends with Hashirama before his final death. Madara's child. My opinion, I believe that Madara has a very, very cool character development story when he was a child. Madara was born during the Warring States period and was the eldest of Tajima Uchiha's 5 sons. Madara and his brothers grew up on the battlefield, waging constant war with the Uchiha's rivals, the Senju. 3 of his brothers died young, leaving Madara with his only younger brother, Izuna. Madara and Izuna became very close. Through their shared loss and constantly competed with each other to get stronger, this combined with his naturally strong chakra enabled the young Madara to defeat adult Senju in battle and develop a reputation as a genius. And like any bad guy, Madara unfortunately met his death. Or so we thought. It turns out that Madara was actually still alive, planning and scheming on how to get back at Hashirama. Till he found Obito and gifted Obito with the power and the ability to play as his self and spread anarchy through the whole Hidden Leaf clan and the Senju. His powers are, of course, the Sharingan, which every Uchiha has, but his Sharingan can be.
Actually, not every Uchiha has. I mean, did you forget? Did you forget about Sakura Uchiha?
Oh yeah, that's right. Sakura. That's another video that you guys can watch on why we think Sakura is useless, but then again, I was not in the group at that time, so. But in my opinion, I believe that Madara had the best character development, and I believe when he came back, he was the coolest villain in Naruto. He took on he took on an entire army of different clan ninjas without even breaking a sweat. Even though, granted, Gaara pulled him out of his Susanoo, and then Naruto went to use his it's not Rasengan, or is it Rasengan?
Rasen Shuriken?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's it. I
yes,
think
that's it.
that's it.
Yeah,
Shorinken.
Rasen
Uh,
Shuriken. Yeah, the
well,
the one he came up with Kakashi and Captain Yamato at the waterfall.
All right. Well, my opinion is out of the way. Now, Leo, tell us why you think Aizen is a good villain and has a better character development.
You know what, Leon? Don't even worry about it. I can tell you right here, right now, why Aizen is the best out of the three, because it's motherfucking Lord Solsuke Aizen. Do you need any more explanation? I didn't think so.
well, I understand that, but I gotta at least give some description to our audience. There may be a few youngins out there who haven't even heard of this baddie creator.
It wouldn't be a surprise if anyone at my school didn't know who we're talking about at all.
All right,
That's very sad.
It is
unfortunately,
very
but
sad.
unfortunately, it's true. But to any of you youngins out there, Sosuke Aizen is the fictional character and the main antagonist for most of the first half of the manga series Bleach, and the most significant one for the entirety of the anime adaptation, meaning he's the more popular villain out of them. He was the captain of the 5th Court Guard Squad Division when he was first introduced. He later betrays the Soul Society before Ichigo Kurosaki and Kisuke Urahara defeat him. His former lieutenant is Momo Hinamori.
Yep. Oh, I have a question, right quick. Very serious question. So did we ever did I ever explain why he all of a sudden got rid of his glasses? Like, were they just like fake glasses, or is he like blind and still whooping everybody's ass?
If
I
he's
don't.
doing a fucking daredevil technique, then goddamn, Aizen.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's always bugged me ever since like I first watched Bleach. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
understand, Creeder. He started out with like glasses and then he moves on to just not wearing glasses.
not wearing glasses, he got like he lost some muscle, but you know he cut a little bit. You know, I mean, I was just like, damn, Aizen. Like, I'm just saying it. Out of all the three, Aizen's definitely got the most drip, at least. But yeah,
Oh
sorry,
man, oh
sorry,
man, I can
Leon.
already. It's okay, but I can already tell this is going to be an ongoing conversation between you two, Creeder and Venom.
Well, yeah,
But
because
back.
most people at Venom School think that Shitaraki's better.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's another
unfortunately.
video for another time. I will gladly explain that for another video.
But here's a bit of background information for you about Sosuke Aizen. Aizen spent much of his career in the 5th Division, eventually becoming its lieutenant under the former captain, Shinji Hirako. If I'm saying that correctly, forgive me. Aizen also gained followers in Gin Ichimaru and Kaname Tosen. A century before the series setting, after Kisuke Urahara created the Hokyoku, an item that he believed creates Soul Reapers / Hollow Hybrids. And in case any of you are wondering, it's that giant orb thing that Aizen uses close to the final season,
Mm-hmm.
which makes him very overpowered. Yeesh.
Yeah. Literally turns him into a butterfly.
Pretty much. Aizen began to experiment using the Soul Reapers that became the Visards. And in case any of you are wondering, it's the Soul Reapers that can do holification, as Ichigo calls it. Among his test subjects was Shinji, who knew Aizen was up to no good, but learned too late that Aizen used his mistrust against him, having also framed Kisuke for the Visard's creation and forced his exile. Aizen learned the Hokyoku actually grants its users desires if they have the will to carry it out. But as Kisuke took the Hokyoku with him, Aizen bides his time to take the item when the time comes. At some point, Aizen saw the potential of Shuhei Hisagi, Momo Hinamori, Izuru Kira, and Renji Abarai, and Aizen took the latter three into his division while sending Shuhei to the 9th Division under Tozen. While Kira and Hinamori were obedient and loyal, becoming the lieutenants of the 3rd and 5th Divisions under Gin and Aizen respectively, Renji proved to be too rebellious and was transferred to the 11th Division, and later to the 6th, where he too became a lieutenant. Aizen also continued his experiments with the creatures Mestacia and White playing a respective role in the life of Rukia Kuchiki and those of Ishin Shiba and Masaki Kurosaki. In the case of Ishin and Masaki, Aizen secretly knew of Ichigo's existence that resulted from White's actions and considered the youth of a being worth studying to the point of engineering the hardships he would face later in life. You hear that, folks? Let me go over that again in case you missed it. Uh, the youth, a being worth studying to the point of engineering the hardships he would face later in life.
No, it's okay. We were just saying. I was saying spoiler, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I said Aizen put him through some shit, but it made him stronger because spoiler alert, 1,000-year blood war.
Yeah. Well, let me continue.
Go ahead.
Of course, as my co-host explained, engineering meaning Aizen was behind all the hardships. But guess what? Made Ichigo that much stronger. Might want to work on your plans, dude.
Well, that's a whole
Different story for another time.
That's a whole separate video, a whole conspiracy about how Aizen really wanted Ichigo to win because of a couple things. So
But sometime prior to his departure from the Soul Society, Aizen and his two followers traveled to Hueco Mundo by arranging an alliance with the self-proclaimed God King of Hueco Mundo, Baragan Lucinban. As Baragan refused, Aizen revealed all the Hollow's minions were killed during the discussion and forces Baragon into servitude. That's pretty badass. From there, Aizen appropriates Baragon's palace, Las Noches, and reconstructs it in his own image, recruiting Tierra Halibel and the other Arancars that would become his Espadas. Pretty much his version of like the Soul Reapers, but I guess better in his opinion. His personality. Oh, here comes a. That's gonna be a fun one, my guys. Aizen's personality. Get this. During his tenure as a Soul Reaper, Aizen created a public image of a bespectacled intellectual whose humility and warmth were equaled only by his dedication to the 13th Court Guard SWAT. However, it eventually became apparent that this was a carefully crafted facade designed to draw suspicion away from his true, sinister nature. Ain't that the truth?
Well, I don't. Never mind. Just continue. I'll talk to you about it in the debate section of the video.
Now, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right. Tite Kubo stated in an interview that part of Aizen's appeal is that he's mysterious. For this reason, he did not think it is a good idea to go too in depth with the character. In truth, despite his apparent kindness, Aizen sees his subordinates as only pawns and warns them in advance not to trust him. So that means this guy's going to stab you in the back. He's just giving you a heads up like, hey, don't fully trust me. By his own admission, he views morality and empathy as weaknesses, which must be expunged in order to reach one's full potential, as he is not above killing others to achieve his goals. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
He's not a
During
bad guy,
his
though.
yeah, during his ascent to Waco Mundo, Aizen discards his guise by removing his glasses and sweeps a hand through his hair to reveal menacing eyes and a very different hairstyle, telling Jushiro Ukitake that he intends to end the unbearable vacancy on the world's throne. And in case none of you understand that, in the Soul Society, there is someone known as the Soul King.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little tidbit. Aizen's agenda is revealed to be the assassination of the Soul King, so he can become the new ruler of the Soul Society.
I don't see a problem with
Gee.
that.
After fusing the Hokyoku into himself, Aizen becomes overconfident to the point of believing him to be invincible. But when fighting Ichigo Kurosaki after he mastered the final Getsuga Tensho, unnerved by his...
Mugetsu.
It's Getsuga.
Oh, sorry.
It's alright, bro. After he mastered the final Getsuga Tensho, unnerved by a stronger foe, Aizen discards his calm nature and becomes crazed with rage. His arrogance ultimately led to his defeat at the hands of Ichigo, and his sealing by Urahara. As Ichigo later mentioned, there seemed to be a hint of sadness in Aizen's reasoning, and high level of power, and that his current condition by the time of his defeat may have been the Hokyoku granting his subconscious desire. By the end of the series, he becomes somewhat of a changed person and voluntarily goes back to serve his sentence, having a new outlook on life.
Sounds like Sasuke.
Kinda does, but I'll leave that alone. I believe, Creeder, you had a few things you wanted to say?
I'll leave them. I'll leave them in the debate section of this video. So once everybody's finished and we say our rank each of them and explain why, then I'll say it then.
Okay. Well, that is mine with discussing Aizen. I guess the only thing left now is to go to the debate and for all of us to rank who we think is the best with character development and not so much.
Yeah. So I think what we'll do is we'll each list them and why. Like give your this is my number one because XYZ. This is my number two because XYZ. And then once everybody's gone through, then we'll talk about it and we'll wrap up the video.
All right.
Alright.
How about our new member start us off? Venom?
So we're going to see who has better character development.
Yeah,
In
just
your
in your opinion.
opinion.
Honestly, hearing everything, Madara really has a reason to be evil. But in his eyes, he's not evil. He's just doing what he thinks is better for the entire world. He wants peace. And he wanted peace back then. But not knowing that Hashirama was a Senju, he was sworn to kill his rival, no matter if they were friends or not. And Madara had to put a lot of bodies, even his brothers, in the grave because of it. So Madara, of course, does not have a very happy, friendly backstory. And if I'm going to talk about debating who's better, I say Madara is better. Because Madara literally took on an entire army of different clans. He even said it himself Their headbands say shinobi, but they are all different clans wearing different shirts. Is this truly the army? Is this a new form of army? And Madara took them all on without breaking a sweat while using his Sharingan. But when Gaara and Naruto got the drop on him, pulling him out of Susanoo, his Rinnegan activated. And if anyone doesn't know what the Rinnegan can do, the Rinnegan is basically the chakra stealer. And if anyone doesn't know what chakra is, it's basically energy in Naruto. Like Ki for Dragon Ball Z. It's basically their energy. And once Rinnegan is activated, you better start running, because Madara will absorb every single energy you have until you have none left. Or he'll just use Perfect Susanoo and finish you just like that. Or Sage of Six Paths. Yes, Madara has a lot of forms. He has Sharingan, he has Rinnegan, then he has the... Is it reanimated if he's brought... No. Reanimated is when he had the cracks in his face. When he's brought back to life, loses Rinnegan and Sharingan. But he can take back his Rinnegan by, God, I was watching that scene. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Obito already stored the Rinnegan eye for him. So when Obito gave him his eye, he had his Rinnegan back, and he stole Kakashi's left Sharingan eye. So yeah, basically Madara, in the Naruto world, Madara is really OP. But Leon, why?
Yeah.
Who do you
No,
think?
you gotta rate them, bud. So that was your number one. What's your number 2 and 3, and why?
For number 2, I'm going to say Aizen, because the thing is about Aizen, you would love to hate Aizen because of how much of a, excuse my French, but for how much of a fucking dick and a prick he is.
He's not a dick and a prick. He's really the hero, guys. Come on now.
Like, he has this attitude like he's better than everyone. Because he absorbed... Who does that sound like? I don't know.
I don't know. Gee, I can't relate. Raise his eyebrow.
But, for Aizen, I will say Aizen is pretty cool. Aizen does have cool moves, and to be honest, I like him better in the 1,000-Year Blood War than in the original manga. Because in the 1,000-Year Blood War, he's just lean back. He's not as villainous as he used to be in the old anime. He's very chill in the 1,000-Year Blood War manga. And for number 3, it's Blackbeard. I haven't really watched a lot of One Piece, but I do know who Blackbeard is. And when Matt was talking about him, it's like I just said for Eyes, you'd love to fucking hate Blackbeard. He's a dick. He's a straight up dick to everyone. So those are my 3 reasons on those are my 3 reasons and my debate on who's better and why. Leon, you may take the stand.
Let me think on that. That's a tough one.
You want me to go first while you think?
You go ahead and go, Creator.
All right, guys. Hi, I'm Creator. I'm not an alcoholic. Because I don't have a drinking problem.
Hi, Creator.
No, so I think we all knew this was coming based on how I was saying, what I was saying beforehand, but Aizen is my number 1, dude. Like, Aizen, he's got the swag, he's got the attitude. I definitely can't relate to him, you know, like, I'm not an asshole, I'm a very nice person, so, I was waiting for somebody to say something. Okay. But no,
no, you're not an asshole, Creator.
I do want to say something, but then again, I don't know if that will offend anyone.
It's probably better if you not say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my point is I can relate to Aizen a lot, in case you guys aren't catching it. So yeah, Aizen's definitely my number one for a lot of reasons. And once well, I guess I'll just go ahead and say it now. I mean, I don't really think he's all that bad. I think it's like a case of like Madara, where in his own world he doesn't see himself as a bad guy; he sees himself as a good guy. And to a certain type of reader, you can see it too. You can see his perspective depending on the reader and stuff like that. So yeah, Aizen's definitely cool. Number two, no surprise, from my favorite anime, I got to go with Madara Uchiha. And I think Venom did a great explanation. So I'm not going to sit here and repeat everything, but Madara is definitely cool. He's not my favorite villain of Naruto, unfortunately. That would have to go to Pain. And
you do make a good point right there.
But no, Madara is still cool and stuff. He's just not my favorite. He's also not my favorite character. It's Itachi. I've said this before on the show, so yeah, it's definitely Itachi. But no, Madara's cool, and he's an Uchiha. I rep Uchiha blood, so let's go. Number three is obviously Blackbeard, and as Venom was saying earlier, he looks at it as Blackbeard's an asshole. He captured Ace. He did all this stuff. He made Luffy's life hell. He's gonna be he's one of the four emperors. So at some point they're gonna have to clash. Probably on Laugh Tale. Who knows? Oda already said that there's gonna be a grand war at the end of One Piece, or towards the end of One Piece, that's going to make Marineford look like a children's playground. So, I mean, we just have to wait and see on that. But one thing that I do want people to understand is, even though Blackbeard is a asshole character and a lot of people hate him, he's meant to be hated, and sometimes that's a good thing. Like I said, everybody hates Danzo, but Danzo is an amazing villain because you hate him and because you want to jump into the lore and choke a motherfucker. So, just keep that in mind. Sometimes villains are actually meant to be hated and despised. And the more the reader hates you, the more you're doing your part of the story. Leon?
Well, for my top three, my number one would have to be, to no surprise, for me that would have to be good old Aizen. I mean, I'm sorry. I feel like out of all of them, he had the most character development in a unique way. And I don't have to go into much detail because good old you guys told me, explained it best to me. So that's all. Madara would be my number two, of course, because I mean, I believe in the same reasons that my brother did for him. I mean, he's just that much of a unique character, in my opinion. But I don't know. Like, he has real good character development, but I don't know if it's as good as Aizen's. But and of course, good old number three being Blackbeard. I mean, I'm not doubting. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound down. I've watched One Piece and I've seen him. Yeah, he's a jackass, and it's clear he's just doing it just power, money, blah. And he is
Power,
unique.
wealth, fame.
Yeah, like he's unique. I don't know. I feel like with those characteristics, they kind of make him a bit basic to me, to be honest.
Yeah, like he's kind of Because that's stupid, but it's kind of like a James Bond villain. Or like that typical mugger you see in the alleyways.
I don't know about the typical mugger, but maybe the James Bond villain.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I still think he's like a Donzo where he's just meant to be hated. I mean,
yeah,
look at
I think
everything he's done at the show. I mean, people really hate this guy. People really wish they could jump into the panels and start choking somebody. So
I don't doubt that. I know for a fucking fact I probably would want to as well. Motherfucker killed Ace. Was responsible for Ace. His
yeah,
death, mother son of a bitch.
yeah,
That was my boy. Ace was
yeah.
precious.
I know Ace, Ace, my boy too, man. I loved
Yeah.
Ace. He's my second favorite.
Alright, now here comes the final question that I think has been on my mind, or maybe the viewer's mind. Out of all these three, who would win in a fight?
Aizen.
Okay, Peter. Leon, who do you think would win in a fight?
Hmm. That is a tough one.
I can imagine Creeder's just holding a gun going, you better say Aizen, fucker.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care who you say. I honestly think Aizen. And once everybody answers, I'll give my reason if you guys want.
Well, for me, I don't know.
Alright. Leon, who do you think I'm going to say would win?
Madara.
Madara.
For me, I think Aizen.
God, Blackbeard's just sitting on the sidelines going, you motherfuckers.
She's like, "What the fuck, man?
Hey
What am
man, you
I?"
should. Yeah, you were dead to me when you fisted Ace. Okay, he was a beautiful man, and you just fist. Well, he didn't fist him, but he got Ace captured, which ultimately led to him getting fisted. So
Mm-hmm.
don't get me started on the guy that fisted him neither.
Of
That
course.
that's a topic for another video. But
All right. Well, I think that's about it. If I'm correct, Creeder.
no, Venom says Madara, so I want to hear how he thinks Madara is going to be Aizen.
Well, if I'm being honest, Madara does possess some skills, but knowing Aizen, he's probably going to use his blade to fight. And if it's not hand-to-hand combat, then Madara's kind of screwed. But if Madara does activate the Renegon, he could possibly absorb Aizen's energy. So he could probably use that energy against him. All I know is that if Madara was able to fight Aizen and whip out either his Renegon or his perfect Susanoo or Sage of Six Paths, then that would be a very close fight, because then, like Leon said, Aizen absorbed the Hokioku. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry.
Um, I mean, I see your point, but I have one question.
What's that question?
Can he beat Aizen though?
That's very tough now that you ask that. That is very tough to decide.
Mm-hmm. No, the only reason I say that is because if we look at the if we look at, and I hate to sound like a typical power scaling YouTuber, but if we are going to use power scaling, which is fair, right?
Yes.
Madara, hang on one second.
All right.
Sorry about that. 7-year-old brother walked in.
All right.
No, so and I'll edit that out. But anyway, like I was saying, so if we're going off of power scaling, and I don't mean to sound like a typical power scaling YouTuber, Madara is just a very, if we're being honest, Madara is a very, 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 very powerful human. But the Soul Society are pretty much interdimensional spirits, and stuff like that. They're just on a different level. They're on the level of I don't want to say God level, but just they're on a dimension instead of a planetarial level. They're on a dimensional level where they can go to dimensions and stuff like that. So, and Aizen did plan to take out the king of the Soul Reapers, and I think he could have done it. Now that's a whole nother video on its own, but I think he could have done it. And so with that being said, the closest thing into the Naruto verse to the Soul Society, in my honest opinion, would be the Otsutsuki clan. And since I know we weren't going to talk about Kaguya, but since what happened with Zetsu and Kaguya and Madara, I think Aizen could beat him.
And I won't disagree with that. I think that's a very valid point.
No, I think Madara's cool. I love Madara. He's one of my favorite Naruto characters. He's definitely top 10. But I don't know, it's just something about Aizen. What about you, Leon? Decide and vote here.
And I'm guessing the two big ones are either Aizen and Madara.
No, I think Blackbeard could smoke Madara in a fight.
That's tough.
Leon! Save me!
Oh God, don't get me started on that.
You know what's gonna happen eventually. There could be people commenting in the comment section. Leon! If no one gets that reference, you have officially crushed my soul.
There's my bro over here. You've crushed my soul. How could you?
Anyways, Leon, who do you think would win?
I mean, yeah, out of these three guys, we all know that Shidaraki's the best.
Yeah, Shigaraki. Oh, Shigaraki would smoke every single one of them.
Oh yeah. Or what's the other one? The Michael Jackson dude from Demon Slayer. You guys
I don't know that one.
Oh, did you guys go ahead and say your answer, Leon? I'm gonna post the picture in the Discord.
I would have to say probably Madara.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Well, I'm guessing that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. Unless you guys got anything else.
Nope, not that I know of.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. I'll do it again.
Okay.
I'll do it again.
I'll do it again. Goofy, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, yeah, I did it. Yeah, we all know you fucking did it.
Jeez.
Alright, well, I think that's about it. So,
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, weebs and weeblets, women and gentlewomen, we have been your gracious co-hosts, Creeder, Leon, and Venom. You had tuned into the Drunken Gun Podcast, so appreciate it, And remember the golden rule before you leave out of here tonight. The most important rule that could save your life one day. keep your beer cold, and keep your ammo hot. We'll see you next time.